So, it's happening. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going ahead and signing Russell Wilson to a 1-year contract. Keep in mind that this is a team-friendly contract, meaning that he's going to be taking league minimum, mainly because of the fact that the Broncos just cut him. So now that the Broncos cut him, they have to pay him up to $39 million this next year. So anything the Steelers pay him will subtract from that $39 million that he's owed by the Broncos. So for example, if they pay him a 1-year, $5 million deal, I'm just spitballing numbers here, then he would get paid $34 million by the Broncos. Sorry, $38 million. So you get paid $33 million by the Broncos if it's a 1-year, $5 million deal. Now again, this is going to be a league minimum. It's going to be a team-friendly deal because again, he can kind of get away with that. Now, there was already talks of the Steelers potentially bringing in veteran competition at the quarterback position against Kenny Pickett. And I'm still a believer that Kenny Pickett's I think he's still a decent quarterback. I think he's serviceable. I don't think he's that good, but I think he's serviceable at least. And this will be interesting. So the Brownies just got themselves Jerry Jeudy, who can't catch the football, apparently, according to Broncos fans. And yes, I have gotten flooded by Broncos fans since I made that Jerry Jeudy video telling me how bad, and I mean absolutely horrendous, Jerry Jeudy is. I can't wait to hear all the Broncos fans on this video tell me how bad Russell Wilson is. Russell Wilson, listen, okay? Steelers, and this comes from a Bengals fan here. I think you got yourself a good signing. I don't think Russell Wilson is that good, but I don't think he's really as bad as he was in Denver. I think that was kind of amplified by Neil Hackett and that whole mess with Neil Hackett, and then it went to Sean Payton. Sean Payton wasn't really feeling the whole let's ride, Russell Wilson crap. So that was a problem relationship going into it. You got the Seahawks game where they didn't kick the field goal, and so they kicked the field goal instead of letting the quarterback get a couple more yards on 4th down, get a first down. It was a whole entire mess. And I think this is a nice, clean slate to kind of move on from that if you're Russell Wilson. Pittsburgh is a winning franchise. Although I dislike them greatly, they're very, very successful when it comes to winning. So I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be all right if he is your starting quarterback over Kenny Pickett. I'm not expecting a far playoff run, but I could see a far, far, far world in a galaxy far away that you guys just continue your above 500 thing. You know how you guys never have a losing season? I'm expecting that. I'm not expecting you guys to go far in the playoffs with him. But I think this is a nice little kind of stopgap where if Kenny Pickett isn't the guy and you have to go Russell Wilson, well, the following year you're thinking about a quarterback then. And this is a little stopgap play that you sign for nothing pretty much, and it helps you win a couple games, and kind of pushes the needle forward toward, okay, now we have to rebuild. I'll be interested to see how this works. Here's what I'll say about Russell Wilson. If you give Russell Wilson a good run game, he's a very successful quarterback. If he has a good run game, when he had a good run game in Seattle with Marshawn Lynch, and then with Thomas Rawls, when he had a good run game with K9, did he play with K9? I don't think he played with K9. No, that was Geno. He's very successful when you give him a good run game. In Denver, he didn't have a good run game. And it's going to come down to that. The Steelers, in my opinion, I will forever say, and I'm not trying to sit here and hate on Najee Harris, but I think Jaylen Warren is the future, and I think he is the better running back of the two. I know, Harris last season he had 1,250 yards. Year before that, he had 1,320 yards. Year before that, he had 1,215 yards. I get that, and I get he's still a really solid running back. I still think Jaylen Warren's more explosive. I think he's more of a guy that can cause big plays to happen. And as long as you keep that running game going, Pittsburgh, Russell Wilson's going to work. Because he thrives off of play action. He thrives off the getting out of the pocket. If you watch him back when he was with Seattle, that's all he did. Now, obviously, that was younger Russell Wilson. It's not the same as today Russell Wilson. But still, that's how he, does his thing. And it's kind of, not upset the Ratbirds fans, but I'm going to. It's kind of like Lamar Jackson, where if the defense has to worry about him moving around and running around and doing stuff, it lets guys get open, and then Lamar or Russell can hit the guy open and make a play. But when he can't do that, and they can't run the ball, and he's stuck in the backfield like a statue, that's when he throws stupid passes, misses a guy wide open, and gets intercepted. And that's kind of how this works with Russell as well when it comes to, how you have to build an offense around him. So I think Pittsburgh, you're going to work on your offensive line more this offseason, right? You got Broderick Jones at left tackle. You're going to figure out the right tackle and probably in free agency of the draft. You have the running backs that are capable to help you get Russell in a correct spot that he needs to be in. And I think with that being said, you should be fine with Russell. I don't think Russell is going to, ask of too much of this offense. And I think with George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, even though right now they're saying Deontay Johnson might be traded, I don't know the validity of those trades, of those, of those sources, okay? There's rumors that he might be traded. There's rumors everyone might be traded, okay? T. Higgins is like the chopping block of players who might be traded. But you got yourself Darnell Washington, right? You also have Pat Freiermuth. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad situation. And if Kenny Pickett is your guy and you're like, hey, listen, we're just going to roll with Kenny Pickett, then roll with Kenny Pickett. And maybe this kind of puts a fire under Kenny Pickett's butt to kind of get more into gear and get going. Because looking at the fact that you guys have the same amount of touchdowns as less touchdowns in a season than TJ Watt had sacks, that's kind of a problem. Now, I know a lot of that was Matt Canada, and he was trash. He was trash can. Now you got Arthur Smith over here from the Falcons. Yeah, that should work out a lot better. But, yeah, I mean, listen. I'm going to be as nice as I can in this video as I was with the Brownie fans when it comes to them getting Jerry Jeudy. I'm going to wish you the worst. Right? Because I don't like you guys. But I'm not going to sit here and say an idiotic take that this was the worst signing ever. Because you're getting a guy who been to the Super Bowl twice and can play at a very high level if you give him the correct resources for a 1-year league minimum deal. That's a pretty damn good deal. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next one.